Hello, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox, here on the show tonight is Bridgeman and Portbar. Evening Port, evening Bridge.
Evening Oxford, evening Bridgeman. Hope you're well, guys. Good to hear for you.
Last call for Bridgeman. Last call for Bridge.
Big good evening to you guys. Huge good evening to the guys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans all over the world listening in. Good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
My name's Ox here for Rangers Radio and I stand by Glenn Kamara.
My name's Portbear for Rangers Radio and I stand Glenn Kamara.
I'm Bridgeman for Rangers Radio and I stand by Glenn Kamara all the way, 100%. I've got a club statement to read out if you don't mind listening in.
Shush.
Oh, sorry. Oh.
Glenn Kamara, he fires the ball like an adder. He runs more miles and more fatter. He's a midfield star. He's tremendous. When sitting back, he'll defend us, and on the attack, he will send us on to victory. And I want you to know that Glenn Kamara cost us 50 grand. And I want you to know that Glenn Kamara, he's gonna be a star for me and a star for you. A star in Rangers Royal Blue, a star in every single game. 'Cause he is electric, you'll never forget his name. Cause he is electric, you'll never forget his name.
Bridgeman.
Club statement here from Rangers today. Rangers notes the UEFA disciplinary decision relating to our fixture versus Slavia Prague at Ibrox on the 18th of March. We welcome the suspension imposed on Andre Kudela. This only vindicates Glenn Kamara's evidence, but underlines the severity of the comment, given the number of games which have been imposed by UEFA. Nevertheless, we believe the sanctions imposed on two players, Glenn Kamara and Kemar Roof, are severe. We have written to UEFA seeking clarification in writing on the basis that we intend to appeal the suspensions of both players. We will make no further comment on this matter. End of statement.
Thank you, Bridge. The big story broke today, approximately 2:30. I think there's more than one story in it, so we'll dissect it. I don't know who's drinking the tea, but please stop. We'll dissect it and then we'll take it as it comes, and then we'll open up the phone lines. Is that all right with you, Port?
Very good, yes, mate. I'm looking forward to hearing for the guys tonight, all the listeners. Interesting day, mate.
Yeah. But if I take the Kemar Roof one first, I think that's the sort of, if you like, the more controversial one. The less controversial one out of all the things that's happened today. In my opinion, it's only my opinion. You might have a different opinion, and Bridge different, and the listeners different. It was a red card for serious foul play, but I don't think he meant it. Yeah?
Yep.
I think if you think back, he did get to the ball first. After he got the ball, he took the boy out about neck high. Plus, the boy's challenge was the best. He got there late, and Kilmar ended up taking him out. I think it was a justified red card. He should get the punishment that entails, and it's usually, in my opinion, 2 games. And I think that would have been fair, mate, personally.
Totally agree with you, mate. I think if the keeper was slightly more brave, he might have got to the ball, like you said, quicker. I did at the time think it was a wee bit harsh, the red card, obviously, I will be honest, because he's got to the ball first. And you know what I says to a few of the boys? I said, what if the ball was in the net? You know, what if he gets to that ball but still follows through? What if the ball goes in the net? You know, does a goal stand? Because, you know, back in the day, if you get a goal like that and a challenge like that, I mean, it looks like 50-50, doesn't it? You know, it's... But obviously, football's moved on. Can I ask you
something? I've had a message for Fox. Can you not mention follow through? You get someone nervous. Carry on.
And so, I said, obviously, you know, the football's moved on, and, you know, nowadays it's deemed as dangerous, you know, serious foul play, dangerous play, whatever you want to call it now. But certainly...
I think when you've had you put your feet up there, and it becomes any contact, it's going to be dangerous play, serious foul play, whatever you like. It doesn't matter if the guy comes in because your feet were up there.
Yeah.
And I don't think there was any malice in it at all. It was a striker trying to put the ball in the back of the net. That's my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got yours, and we'll bring Bridge in a second. Carry on, mate.
Aye, no, I'm just thinking on, mate. You know, again, it's my playing days, and to me the ball was it to be won, mate. He's went and tried to win it. Aye, and he's caught him. You know, and the rules of the game is it's a red card. But was it a 3-game suspension? No, in my opinion, mate. I think that if you look at the rules, it does state it's 2. It's a year, you know, 2-game suspension. So you got to remember he's received his fair share, mate. Also racial abuse online as well. You know, so we have to back him that way as well. And look after our boys, definitely.
Yeah, but also we're only talking about the actual incident that happened in the game, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. So for me and you, it's maybe 2 games too harsh, yeah?
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Yeah, Bridge.
To a certain extent, I agree with what Port Bear saying. I don't think the boy was going in. He was going for the ball. He got the ball. And I'm not being funny. He actually got the ball a yard away for the goalkeeper. So, yeah, he's followed through, or the goalkeeper's run into him. One of the two. And I'm not going to argue about it. One thing happened, and that's all there was to it. The keeper get injured. I know if it's a touch in the head, then it's obviously getting looked at very harshly in Europe. I don't like that. I don't like head injuries. So I think that a 2-game ban would have been suffice. I think they're making it out that he went in there and deliberately did that. Deliberately did it. That's what I think they're thinking, and that's what he's getting punished for.
All right, so there's an appeal. There's an appeal. There's an appeal taking place on that, but we'll park that because I think that's slightly different. But the listeners and the people who phone in, they can have their opinion on that. We're pretty much signing for the same hymn sheet, which is pretty unusual for us. It's pretty unusual for us, isn't it? Right, okay, so that's the easy one.
Yeah.
Will we have a tune? Right, okay. Where do we go next? Right, okay. How are you pronouncing this guy's name, Bridge? People have been impressed with your pronunciation.
Andre Cadella.
Cadella. Right. Mr. Cadella, the coward. I was pleased that he was found guilty. That's what it looks like to me. They found him guilty as charged. I was disappointed in the punishment, but I was also pleased that it's the harshest punishment UEFA have given out. They can give out a more severe punishment. So in some ways, it's a step in the right direction. In other ways, it's a step backwards. There's a double edge to this sword. Port Bear.
You know, obviously I spoke, you know, I spoke to plenty of people this afternoon, and me personally, and it's only my personal opinion, I think it's light. I think UEFA have missed the boat with an opportunity to show. I mean, they could have still given him a 10-game ban next year, but they could have still also went about other ways of punishing, whether it be the club or, you know, him further from European competitions, whatever it may be. I think when you think all the slogans, all the banners, and all the hard work that goes into, you know, show racism, the red card, all the other ones involved with, the Premier League, etc., Europa, FIFA, the Champions League. UEFA spend a lot of money on these things and have done for years, absolute years. This has been on for, we're in 2021 next year, and we've still not eradicated it for the game. I'm not saying we'll ever eradicate it next year. I don't believe that'll ever happen. I really don't. But what I do believe is, I do think FIFA have missed the boat a wee bit and could have punished them more vigorously. Because I think the only thing that would stop this, or certainly make it so that it's not in my local papers, my local news outlets. I think if you went and made it a bit more severe punishment, it would go a long way, mate.
Give him a 6 month ban, or what would you have done?
Mate, I'd have thrown a book at him. I'd have banned him for a year. I'd have given him a year ban. I'd have probably threw him out of the tournament, mate. I would have. I think UEFA could have threw him out of the tournament.
You would have given him a time factor. I mean, a 3-year game per Bridgeman, that was about 3 years, you know what I mean?
I just think, mate, if you start, and I know there's some people with a view where if you punish your club, for one player's, that affects the club, but that's who his employer is, that's who he plays for. So you punish your club, kick them out of the tournament, you give him a year's ban. That sends a message out to every club in Europe next year, and further afield the world, basically saying that this is not going to be tolerated. But we've had enough of this next year, bro. It's 2021, and if you think over this year alone, there's been more high-profile cases during the Premier League this year. And they don't seem to have the same attention as Glenn Kamara's had. But this was a chance next year, and I feel they've missed it a wee bit. It's great that this is the best, punishment they've given.
It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, it's a step in the right direction. Yeah.
Whether you accept it's one forward and half a step back, or you're saying it's one forward and two back,
Yeah, aye, definitely, mate. That's the way I feel about it, yeah.
Aye, okay, that's a valid opinion, mate, aye. Bridgeman?
I see there's two faults for Cadella. Number one, maybe even three, he's approached an opposition player, he's cupped his hands, so the intent was to make sure he was going to say something and nobody will see it, and then he said it, whatever it was he said. So that's inflamed everybody, and it should have done. And I agree with Portbear. I think they should have been put out of the competition. Under 100%, they should have been put out of the competition. They're sitting here now and they're sending apologetic messages to Rangers a month after the event. That is nothing short of scandalous. So they are 100% guilty all the way down the line. I'm talking about the club now. So that club should have immediately found out what was happening, and UEFA should have banned them for the rest of the season at least. And I would suggest the rest of the competition. They should have been put out, and then that guy should have been done for a year, at least a year. There's two counts in there. The sleek way he did it and what he did, and it's just wrong. And I hope he got a right good doing.
what he was well, you've got to watch, because two wrongs make a right. Because if somebody gives somebody a doing in the tunnel, your team could get thrown into the competition as well. You've got to watch.
No, I'm only talking about this particular case, right?
He was very cowardly, the guy. I mean,
absolutely.
What I kind of get my head around, I was speaking to a wise man late this afternoon, early evening, and what I kind of get my head around, Bridge, right? We've all done things in a football field in the heat at the moment. You've lost your temper, you've reacted to something. You've maybe called somebody the odd name, Bridgeman, even, yeah?
Yeah.
But usually when you were winning 2-0, the other team's doing it 9 men, and the game was just disappearing, petering out. You wouldn't say nothing, would you?
Yeah.
Just let the game run out.
Absolutely, pal. No, they were every single, even the pals, even the players that were there, they must have heard it as well. The other Slavian players, they must have heard it. So there's a slight bit of guilt going round some of those players. I just can't believe it happened. I can't believe it.
They might in the statements, mate, they might have said backed up Kamara. We don't know. We don't know that.
Yeah.
Portbear.
100%. We'll never know who heard what. Watching the footage, the person that reacted probably mostly for me was Zungu, even more than Kamara did at first. So, if anybody else in that investigation, they'd have been spoken to Bridgeman for Eox, they'd have been spoken to, they'd have been probably, given in statements, whatever was done with their lawyers, etc. But certainly something was says, and Bridgman's right on the way it was done. You know, if you watch back, he's looking about and he hones in on Kamara, and the game's away, Oxford. Like you said, the game is gone. Rangers had to score 3 goals to get back into this. It was the very end of the game as well. I can't understand it, mate. I cannot.
No.
I'm shocked it's happened in 2021. Am I shocked? I'm not really shocked, but I'm shocked at that level in Europa last 16. These things are still happening at certain clubs throughout Europe. And I just think, I can't understand the guy's thinking, mate. I cannot understand the guy's thinking. Everybody knows what's going on in the world now with certain movements in regards to racing stuff. So, you know, I just think, what was he thinking on next year? He knows it's not just happening in Europe.
It looked as if it was a calculated act, because there was no drama at the time. There was nothing in the game. The game was gone, as you said, yeah. You know, so
yeah.
I don't understand that. I don't understand why he would say that, and I can't get my head around why he done it at that time, because, you know, there was no heat of the battle. There was no, you know, he could have showed them 2 fingers and said 2-0. You know.
Aye, there's ways and means, mate. Definitely, 100%. You know, yeah. I think the 40-minute celebration after their game. I read 4 weeks ago. I read this. The 45-minute celebration on the pitch. That's enough to wind you up, isn't it, Oxford? But that's enough. You don't. That's the thing you do. They won the game fair and square. You know, and they were out and they celebrated on their pitch. That hurts. But that's it. That's how you do. That's how I would prefer to do it, rather than honing in a fellow pro, mate. That's the thing. It's really annoying me. A fellow pro, mate. A fellow pro. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting, mate.
Okay, so let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Okay, so I think we've agreed that there's some good stuff done for UEFA, but potentially they've bottled it. Was that fair?
Can I just say one more thing on that? That team that Slavia Prague, and obviously they're in the Czech Republic, that chap went out and played an international game selected by
Wales, right?
Against Wales, you know. And I think, based on what we know now, right, it's all right, we can speak about it after the event. As we know now, he must have given up, and he must have said to his club, I'm sorry, blah, 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 because the club should be banning him as well. Heavily. They should be banning and fining him. However,
He's in association, should be dealing with that, and they should be
100%. That's about. But what did they do? They picked a guy for an international, and the club let it happen.
Have you not got the right to be innocent till proven guilty, Bridge?
Yeah, yes. In normal circumstances, 100%. Everybody that watched that, every single person that watched that knew, in their heart, they knew it was happening. And I'm including all the Czechoslovakian people and all the Czechoslovakian people at the top level in the public, in the international arena. They knew, they watched him doing that. They should have been questioning that right away. Right away, they should have been nipped in the bud by the Czechs. That's it. Seriously.
What happens if, just playing devil's advocate, Bridge, what happens if the guy said, I never said that?
But he did say, I never said that. That's what I mean. But all the way along the line, he's been saying, I never said that. And people have been defending him. The Czech Republic have been defending him.
The inquiry's finished. I'm not sticking up for the guy, by the way, in any manner of means. What I'm saying is, I feel they would have a problem, because if he keeps denying it and his teammates were sticking up for him, he's innocent till the inquiry's finished.
Yeah. Yep. The inquiry was, to me, what that Rangers statement tells you all, to be honest. The inquiry's finished. He was found to have done it. He was found to have done it. So he knows he done it. He knows he done it. His mates know he done it. And the Czechoslovakian national team know that he done it, the manager. And they should never have played that guy. Never, ever, ever have played that guy. He came on and he played against No, he also played against Arsenal just the other week there. Just unbelievable stuff.
Gareth Bale shook his hand, didn't he?
There you
Aye,
go.
he did, mate. He was very friendly with him. Yep. Yep.
Watch my elbow.
I'm not sticking up for the guy, Bridge, but I think you've got to watch that there's a process to go through, and if he gets picked while that process we've gone through, they're maybe bending the rules. They're not breaking them. And what happens if he'd been found innocent?
I think, in all honesty, I agree with you, but I think, in all honesty, the Czech Republic knew, and everybody associated with that club, Slavia Prague, knew. In fact, every person associated with any European level team knew it was going on there. And all it was going to take was just going to wait for him to turn and say, I did it. And he never done it, and he never said a thing until, he might not even say it now, if you follow what I mean.
By the way, he has continued to deny it and the proof was overwhelming. That would have been a thing for even giving him more sanctions.
Absolutely, pal.
He was clearly. Look, I'm not sticking up for him, but all I'm saying is his employers, if he walked into that dressing room, he said, I never said anything. They've misunderstood me due to my accent. How do you do that?
Yeah, I understand all these sayings, but when you're in a situation like that and things are said, no matter what the language is, things are said, and two of the Rangers players reacted. One, Zungu, heard it straight away, and it took a couple of seconds for Kamara, and it was aimed at him, and I think Kamara was a wee bit of shock initially. That's what I think. But they saw their players getting them away out of the way, and then creating the barrier so that the Rangers players couldn't get through it, and then Big Golson came up and broke through it. They knew it was happening. I'm convinced of it. They knew, but they continued on. There's a farce. It becomes totally farcical. The people that are running football in Europe knew what was said, knew by the actions, knew everything, and probably did know that Kamara went in and there was a fight in the tunnel and so on and so forth. And that's fine. But wait a minute. Did you say that? That's the biggest sin you can do in football at the moment, is be racist. The biggest sin.
Right. But I think, again, playing devil's advocate, Bridge, I think they'd have to go through the process, rightly or wrongly, whether you agree the process is wrong, or if it was a work, both parties would be suspended pending investigation, wouldn't they?
Correct.
100%.
Aye. So, you've got to watch how you deal with it and how you say that. What happens? Let's be honest. What happens if that guy hadn't said that? Even though it looks like it, what happens if he hadn't said it?
Well, I'm quite sure that the people that were doing the investigation would have found that out.
Right. So you've got to investigate it. You can't.
No, nobody's saying it shouldn't be investigated. What we're saying is, while it was happening, he should have been suspended at least. At least he should have been suspended under suspicion. I mean, I was taken away by our uniformed officers a number of times. I don't want to say too much about it, but I was held. And I dare say most of us are sitting in this program. No, I'm telling a lie there. Some of us in this program know what that means. And you don't get a choice. Whether you did it or no, you don't get a choice.
No comment.
Exactly. I mean, I know that Portbear knows about it because he handles that type of thing for his job. I don't mean he's a policeman, but he handles some of these things.
Yeah, move on. Right, so as far as I can make out, Bridge, he was initially banned for one match pending investigation, yeah?
What do you mean by that?
I think he was banned for the Arsenal game, wasn't he? The first one.
The home leg.
Yeah, because he had said a sweary word in his description of what he said to him, and from a racist perspective, he was swearing. And that's what allegedly, that's what he got banned for. A game's banned for swearing.
I think look, if there's something wrong with the processes, I would agree to you. I think I sound like Stevie G, and I don't want to sound like John, what's his name here? But if there's a process to get through and there's an agreed process, you've got to treat him the same as you would treat everybody else.
Aye.
Rightly or wrongly. And then once he's found guilty or the evidence is there, and also if he's denied something, and it transpires that it's overwhelming that he's been caught doing it, that should have doubled his sentence at least, Portbear.
Aye, exactly, mate. You know, if you look at in isolation, you know, Cadella probably could have come forward and been a man about it. You know, himself, Oxdear. I think he's put his club, probably maybe his other fellow pros, you know, in the game under severe pressure. You know, allowing the investigation to run 4 weeks, etc. You know, playing against Arsenal, playing the international game. You know, when eventually he's found guilty. Today, basically, what he's found out, and he's come out and he's through his lawyers issued an apology to, you know, Glenn Kamara, to Rangers. I think it says a lot about the man, Oxdear, Andrew Cadella. I think it says a lot about him. And I tell you, if I had a player like that in my team, we'd all be saying, if it was one of your players, Oxdear, we'd all be wanting him out the door. And you know, I'm not saying this won't happen. It's like, we don't know what they're going to decide. We really don't. We're all here guessing. But I think, just to look at what this guy's done to his club, I mean, let's think what he's done to his club, done to his own professional career, and done to a fellow pro. It's shocking, mate. You know, he needs severe punishment, this guy. Because if he thinks, he's probably laughing up his sleeve, Oxdear, at 10 games. He probably is. Because what does he lost out of this? What does he lost? He lost his nothing. He lost his 10 games, you know, this season, maybe into next season. Whereas Glenn Kamara's an absolute hot.
He can potentially miss the Euros, because it's all UEFA competitions, mate.
It's certainly good, mate. That's an option, isn't it? That's a great shout. That's an option. Yeah, yep. Yep.
But it's been interesting to see how it pans out, and the devil will be in the detail when we get the report through, when it'll come out. We've been joined by, well, no, not yet, but it's an emotive subject, and I feel as if I feel a lot of sympathy for Glenn. I hope he can nuke it out yet and go on with his game. We've been joined by Dave from Cumbernauld, I think. Evening, Dave.
Evening, everybody.
How are we doing, mate?
I just feeling a wee bit gutted after that sentencing came in. You know, there's been a few instances in recent history where players have got worse for what I would consider lesser things. I can remember not too long ago a player got banned for maybe 12 games. I think it was for a betting scandal of some kind. And it just shows that UEFA are not really interested in throwing the book at anybody. This was a perfect opportunity to throw a book at the guy, and it chose not to.
I mean, I go with that to a certain degree, Dave, but also there is a slight step in the right direction where this is the first time for face-to-face racism they've gave anybody a suspension. So they've moved. Whether the punishment is suffice, that's open for debate, mate.
I can see where people are coming from, that it's they can only stay within their own rules, but there's certain moments in football. Do you know what I mean? And this was one of the moments.
They could have sent out a stronger message. I sympathise with that argument. I really do. Portbear.
Aye, 100%. Dave, if you heard me earlier on at the start of the show, I did say that my opinion was they've missed the boat with an opportunity to show a really strong, you know, punishment, and let's try and eradicate this for our game, or as best we can, is eradicate it as much as we can. Because as I said, I don't think we'll ever eradicate it all. I think there's a bigger picture beyond this as well when you think of social media as well, how Glenn Kamara has been attacked on social media as well, which was highlighted on, you know, national news. So I think the picture, you know, from the outside looking in, I don't know how Glenn Kamara will be sitting there night wondering, you know, is he sitting thinking, right, I'm happy with that, because is it affecting his game? It looks like, if you look at Sunday, he looked like a player with a lot on his mind. I just think they've missed the boat. It's only my opinion, of course. I'm not an expert on this by any imaginary means, but I just think they could have, you know, thrown me personally, a year suspension, as I say, and a big fine for his club, and also put them out the tournament. I think that's the only way you're going to hurt these clubs and get them to, to really take note about the players are doing. You got to remember as well, he's got two teammates. The Cameroon International and the boy Sima. I think he's Ivory Coast. Two of his teammates. Who are of colour, and he's been basically unforgivable for me. Absolutely unforgivable to anybody, fellow pro, and obviously your teammates. Shocking. I'm shocked.
Dave?
I think it's just, I don't know, if Glenn Kamara can come out and say how long this is going to affect him. For me, it's almost a life sentence for him, because you don't know how that's going to affect you later on in life. That might be with him for the rest of his life, and this guy's only got a 10-game ban. It just doesn't sit right with me, if that makes sense. The only way that I could have thought that it would have been a sufficient enough fine for me was one or two fines. Either the team gets flung out of Europe, which just wasn't going to happen, let's be honest, or the guy gets banned for ever playing in international competition again. And that would have stopped something like that ever happening again. Because a 10-game ban, some people will still go, I can get away with it. And this thing about hiding the mouth and everything, I think that needs to be looked into. Because if you're hiding your mouth, there's obviously something.
Clarence, I think it was Clarence Seedorf was on Sky Sports News, and he said that should be outlawed for the game, and people should be because when they're talking to opposition, he says it should be an automatic yellow card.
I totally agree. Mm. Anyway, guys, I just, as you can hear in my voice, it's not just because I'm a Rangers fan, but I genuinely do love Glenn Kamara, and I genuinely do want to see the end of this horrible thing in football. And I just wanted to talk to you guys because I know you did share my opinion.
All right.
Can I come in, Alex, here?
Yes, mate, and you come.
I was going to say that, like, the Kamara, obviously, what's been said and how it's been said, and all those things that make it all up. At the end of the day, that boy was racially abused on a football pitch. And the authorities, for whatever reason, haven't taken much notice of the fact that he was racially abused. And that's a big problem, I think. One of the big problems.
There's two sides to that coin, Rich. You're right, the sentence could have been tougher. But it's the first time they've gave out a suspension of 10 days, 10 games for face-to-face racism. So they have moved. Maybe not moved enough, but they have moved.
I'm not talking about that guy. I'm talking about Glenn Kamara. What's UEFA going to do for Glenn Kamara? He's a victim, a huge victim. And that is wrong. That's wrong for the UEFA not to treat him the same as any other person that's been racially abused. Not a 5-game ban or anything like that, But seriously, there's got to be something in there that can assist Glenn Kamara. And this time of need that. Maybe he doesn't need it, but they've never given it. I don't think they've given it any consideration at all.
No, maybe they've not, mate. His personal well-being, You're right there, Dave? You still there?
I was just going to say thanks for taking my call, guys, and I just hope maybe this isn't the end yet. Maybe there's some sort of fine coming later on, but we'll see. I highly doubt it.
No, I think that could be potentially it for UEFA for this incident, mate. Unless we win with appeals for the 2 suspensions we've got, I don't think, by the sounds of it, Slavia are going to appeal. I think they might feel as if they've done okay. Yeah. Cheers, Dave. Speak to you soon, mate. Port Barrett, it's an emotive subject.
You could hear in Dave's voice there, mate, that it's obviously affected him and it's touched a nerve with him. So, I think that's the way, if we go by how we love Rangers and how we love, Glenn Kamara. And, even if you take the Rangers out of Oxford, take that name right out of it. The fact this happened to a professional footballer in the current climate, it's wrong. It's wrong no matter who you are or what league you play in. It's wrong every level, mate. Wrong's wrong. You know,
Wrong at any time, mate. No, you want to stay claim it. We've been joined by Jim for Kent. Yeah, evening, Jim.
Yes. Good evening again, boys. How are you?
How you doing, Jim?
What a bit
I'm
for you,
fine.
Jim.
Jim,
Listen,
how you doing, Jim?
I'm absolutely fine. Listen, is anybody really surprised with the UEFA decision?
I'm actually, I'll be really honest with you, Jim. I'm actually surprised. They've moved it slightly further than I thought they would.
Honestly, I'll tell you where I come from. I'll tell you where I stand. I own a business, right? I own a home care business down in England. The regulations that constrict us, everything we do is controlled. Any member of staff steps out of line in any sort of way, we can be shut down. So in a workplace, which football is a workplace, to say something racist is immediate dismissal. In any other world, it's immediate dismissal.
Yeah, that's a fair
point. So why is it not dismissal for that? A 10-game ban. I find it quite ludicrous. We would just lose our business for any kind of racial stuff, and I would lose my business if I racially abused anyone. But in a football pitch, it's all right. It's a slap in the wrist. That's my view.
That is a. I've never really thought of it for that side of things. Yeah, that potentially they could dismiss him. Port Bear, different angle on the thing.
Yeah, that's what I was sort of touching on earlier on, Ox, when I said about, maybe his club should have done more. I did sort of mention earlier on, because of what he'd done, pending investigation, etc., we don't even know if the club's done anything yet, Ox. This is the thing, the club seems to be pretty quiet through it. We don't know if they may have done. We don't know if they've fined them. We don't know if they're going to offer another ban.
Sorry, but I don't think the club was quiet. I think the club tried to blame Kamara, his club. I mean, they turned it round. They were backing him to the hilt.
Yeah,
which I found disgusting, absolutely disgusting, and that's why they need brought to book as well.
I know that's exactly what my opinion was at the very start. But having read their apology, having read his apology, right away, an apology, in my opinion, is an admission of guilt, right? So that's, I'm going to throw that out there right away. So, I just feel the club's been very weak. I believe UEFA have missed the boat. I said that on the show. I think UEFA have missed the boat and really thrown down the gauntlet to every other player professionally in the game. That it's not going to be tolerated, this sort of level of behaviour. But I totally agree with your point, mate. Any other workplace and you'd boot the door, your feet when they touch the ground.
Absolutely. And that's the sad truth of it. Sure, as football seems to be governed by different rules. And I know it's a slightly different workplace, but still, any other place in the world, you'd go out the door. And it's simple as that.
That's a fair comment. If it was proven you'd done it,
Yep, absolutely. If it's proven, then you're out the door. There is no. It's called gross misconduct. You're just straight out the door. There's nothing. So, and listen,
the terms, Jim. I'm very used to the terms.
But thank you, boys. And listen, Glenn Kamara. I just hope he gets over it quickly because he's a lovely guy, and I hope he understands how much everybody supports him. Because he is a top boy, and nobody deserves that, especially not him.
Here. Well said, pal. Well said, Jim.
All right, pal. Right, good night, boys. Thank you.
Take care, mate.
Cheers.
Totally different slant on it, Bridgeman.
Indeed it is. When you think of how our human resource people and unions feel about all this, and the negotiations that go on for conditions in workplaces, and one of the most important ones is the treatment of your colleagues. You don't abuse your colleagues in any way, shape, or form. Just don't, particularly on the racist side of things. And that was utterly shameful. And for UEFA to allow that guy to play the games he's played as if it had nothing had happened, and eventually 4 weeks later put out an apology. And as Port Bear said, I'm guilty, Your Honour. I'm guilty. We apologise to everybody. I'm sorry, that's not good enough. To me, it's just not good enough. That boy's been He's been living and walking on a knife edge in his career since that happened. I don't know whether he realises how poor he's feeling about everything. And I think, I don't know whether Rangers have make sure he gets some psychological help, because that was a big blow.
We've been joined by Amanda. Good evening, Amanda.
Good evening, all. I've not been on for a while. I've missed all your dulcet tones. I've been quiet on the Rangers front recently, but no, talking about Glenn Kamara, I think the whole, we all seen how bad it was on the actual night, and for the guy to deny he even made a racist slur is a bit beyond belief, you know what I mean? But again, I think it was Bridgman that was saying there about making sure he gets the psychological help he needs for it, for what was said to him. Because, let's face it, if somebody calls you a name, it depends what they call you. You don't just take it in the chin, do you? You expect it just to walk away. But again, I think Rangers have handled it quite well. I think Rangers have done the right thing, saying they're going to appeal the suspension handed to Kamara and Roof, And I think that's, at the end of the day, Rangers have done the right thing, so we need to appeal it. Let's leave it just now till we get the next decision, and then move on to the weekend. You know what I mean? That's taken care. That's been continued. But no, okay. I just feel sorry for Kamara and Ruth that they've been handed these suspensions themselves, when clearly the thing that's been said has been a racist slur anyway. So no, I think
you need to part the two things. I think they're two different incidents, Amanda.
Aye. But as I say, I just feel that UEFA seem to be too late in dealing with things. You know what I mean? Like, as with everything, they take their time about any decisions. But anyway, let's forget about UEFA. We've got a big game at the weekend, so let's go on to that. And here's hoping we can get another good result against them. But as I say, well, I'm just delighted that the way the season's been all together. Okay, we're out of Europe, but at the end of the day, we've had a damn good season as a club, really, haven't we?
Port Bear.
It's the season's go. Amanda, how you doing? Think it'll be excellent. What a season. Gerrard's brought, class, pride back. He's put Rangers back on the map. We just continue to, this unbeaten run's superb,
I know, that's it.
We're a team that's got an identity. We've got, back to the winning ways, and we're really showing, all right, we've been stumbling over the last few weeks. We've been pretty, we've not been at our best, but in the day we're still getting the wins, Amanda. So for me, that's one of the things that's getting bred into their team is a winning mentality. So definitely, and long may it continue. This cup game will go a long way in deciding, I think, in my opinion, what happens next season as well, because we go to knock them at the Scottish Cup as well. It's another nail in their coffin, and
I'd love to knock them out of that. I'd love to just knock them out on Sunday.
So would I,
pal. Because I just think the smugness is starting to creep back into them a wee bit. That's arrogance that's with them, and I think it's starting to creep in where this Kennedy's concerned now. I know. And
they obviously don't buy papers and see the league table then.
Exactly, I know. But the comments are, we Rangers won because UEFA have decided all the disciplinaries have been held up. Nothing to do with that. Get a grip, man. You're just a rank rotten team, aren't they? You know what I mean? But I'm back to my blonde. I got my hair done the other day, so the blonde is back.
A blonde bombshell else.
I'm glad that because George he prefers blondes.
Oh, right, listen, don't even go there. With his dietary requirements, I don't know. After his cottage pie escapade, we might need to wonder. But, I've not been on for a few days because I've been kind of up and down, but I'm still waiting, obviously, on my knee. But as I say, it was just my luck the day we get presented with the league trophy. I'm in getting my knee done, wasn't it? It was just my blinking luck.
Well, you're getting it done, Amanda.
Okay, okay. So, how he's all doing? He's all right? He's all keeping okay and staying safe, aye?
Aye,
So
brand
far,
new, mate.
so
Yep,
far.
yep.
Bridge.
I'm cool. Thanks.
That's good.
Good. As I say,
How are
I'm
you,
only on for
Amanda?
a while.
Are you all right? Have you been okay?
I'm fine. I'm just had a wee break for phoning in and that because
I thought you were away in New Zealand.
I thought George had the phone.
I'm just having a wee break. You know, I had a wee break for phoning in, but I am fine. I'm getting okay. Just, you know, I think I'm like everybody else. I'm fed up with this goddamn lockdown.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, and as I said, my pal phoned me the other day. She said, "I just wish we could meet for even a coffee, you know, just to get a chat and that instead of being on, you know, computers all the time." But anyway, that's coming. We're getting there. So listen, I'll let you go.
See, when you go for a chat with your mate for a coffee, see the time he's finished, is your coffee cold?
No, I drink while I'm talking. You can tell I'm putting this up for a few days, can't you?
Multitasking.
Listen, this is great because that's getting out of my system, and then my dad doesn't need to listen to me tonight now. So listen, I'll let you all go, and I'm sure I'll be on again soon. Okay, guys.
Super,
Have a good
pal.
night.
You too.
Bye.
Pass
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.
Take care,
Bye.
pal.
Bye.
Pass George the
Bye.
phone.
A shocker, you. You're a shocker.
He's going to kill me, George. Oh, by the way, just to let you know that Port Bear came in with a lovely Victoria sponge.
Oh, he did not, did he?
Yes, there, it's there, Bridge. If you look behind you, mate, there's
Oh,
a slice
jeez.
there for you for the
No,
tune, mate.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to. I'll eat a big bit.
Marks
Can I
and
get half of it?
Spencer's day. Marks and
Mark-
Spencer's.
Oh no, we had all this crap the other night. It was Southside. He came in with a
Oh,
Costco
big
bag, but it was an Aldi cake.
Like Stevie, he came in with I go, yes, out of Costco. It was a little.
It's a little
Yeah.
one. Open it up.
Next week, he's going to come in with Harrods, and it'll be Aldi.
A hamper, a Harrods hamper from Aldi.
I'm going to say his cake's been the worst so far.
I tell you what, I bet you this one tonight's going to be terrible.
Oh,
Did you make it, Port Bear, or did you buy it?
No, I'm not a baker, mate. I'm rubbish
Right,
at
did
that.
you bought it then? Where did you buy it?
Marks, tell you.
Oh, so you did. So
So
apologise.
you're not a Master Baker, Mark?
No matter which way you spell it.
It isn't like a soggy bottom, Bridge.
Boy, that's shocker, isn't it? Seriously. Shockers if there he is.
Oh, dear. But thanks very much for that, Port. Really nice. That looks a business.
Aye, well, your turn next, mate. Your turn next.
I don't mind a bit of bait, mate. I'll get some. Me and Bridge will get something. We'll sort
He'll
it
bring
out.
something out of the canteen. It'd be great.
We
The
were, actually
canteen.
expecting cupcakes for you.
Fairy cakes.
Aye. That's what he said last night. We get fairy cakes. Cupcakes.
Fair enough. I'll take that one.
Oh dear. Aye. This incident, what happened with Glenn and that. Hopefully, his character will shine through Port, and he can put it behind him. I know he might be raging, but hopefully he can put it behind him. Because if we're being honest, we've not really played that much since the incident happened. We played at Parkhead where he done okay, and he did look well. He maybe just had a bad game. Maybe we're reading too much at Port.
Aye, if any day we were manager, Oxford, if you think of the character of our manager and the sort of man he was on the field, I think he's installing, as I touched on with Amanda, I think he's installing, he's put the pride back, he's put the winning mentality into the team, etc., etc. I think one of the other things he showed was, a closeness with Glenn Kamara on the night of the game, where he immediately hugs him and he takes him away and, shows him he's backed him 100%. And Gerrard didn't know what happened at that point, but he's backing his man 100%. So I'd like to think, you know, I'm only talking personal, myself with Albion here. You know, so some people can use these things to fuel them. You know, and this could fuel Glenn Kamara's career. You know, being so harshly done by, you know, by a fellow pro. And, you know, maybe he might not think, he may think 10 games enough, but he might think the opposite and think 10 games is nowhere near enough, you know, so he might feel a bit unjust. But I'd like to think with Gerrard, mate, he'll be saying sort of similar words to what I'm saying, maybe. Take Glenn Kamara and, you know, you either lie down next year and you accept what's been said and curl up into a ball and, you know, become like a, you know, cocooned in your own self, or you take it in the chin, mate, and you get your head up and you go out on Sunday and you play the game of your life against one of our biggest rivals, you know, and show that that it's not affecting you. Don't let these cowards win. Does that make sense, mate? You know, don't let these guys determine how your career's going to be and if it's going to affect you at your club. Glenn Kamara's done enough, mate, in my opinion. He's done enough to deal with between what that guy says to him and then what's happened to him on social media, etc. as well. And then all the big news outlets all grabbing a hold of him as well. It's been a big, big busy month for him, mate. So busy 4 weeks. So I would implore, you know, the club, Gerrard, to use it, you know, and to drive Glenn on and make him, you know, feel strong and show a togetherness as a club and as a manager and his teammates to go and drive on to this season and finish this season well, mate, you know, and next season.
I suppose the trouble is we're on a whole different situation here. If he's feeling down because of what's happened, if it was that easy just to snaps people out when they had so-called mental health issues, feeling down, low mood, whatever you want to call it, a bit depressed, let down, whatever. If that is the case, I mean, hopefully it isn't, we're reading too much into it.
Yeah.
It's not that simple, you know. It becomes a whole different, you're into another minefield then, but I think Glenn Kamara will be fine. I mean, what I liked about him, he wasn't taking a backward step, mate. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He wasn't taking a backward step. At the two of them, I know how to put my money on. No recovered. Bridgman.
I've got a question for you before I say too much.
Uh-huh.
Do you think there's any chance that UEFA had informed Rangers and Glenn Kamara on just a sort of like Friday or Saturday of the decision?
No way. No.
No? Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to ask because I'm trying
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I said that Glenn Kamara was poor on Sunday, sorry. But it's Sunday, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yes.
I don't think he did to the standards that Glenn set. I'm just going to put it down that he didn't have a great game, along with other people. As simple as that. And I want to see Glenn Kamara shows everything he's got in his locker on Sunday.
Here. Now, do you think the manager will take the chance and play him, given the situation, given the ban and so on and so forth? I don't mean the ban.
The manager will have him playing.
Right, okay. That's cool.
Glenn Kamara walks into he says, I'm up for this, boss. I want to show the world. He's playing, mate. He's a top player. Port Bear.
He's an internationalist, mate. He's an international player. He's used to playing at the highest level in world football, which is obviously playing for his country, and then obviously playing in Europe, etc. With Rangers. As I say, mate, use it. You know, I know you're saying it's easy to click yourself out and all that carry on, but sometimes you can use these things, mate. It's a funny old, you know, game, football, and to help you drive on and push through us. I think he's that sort of guy. You know, I'm hoping he's got that in his locker, mate, to go and have a cracking game at the weekend, show that he means business, you know, and show us and his manager that he's back to, you know, the Glenn Kamara we all love and know.
We've got a statement for Glenn Kamara, and I'll read it out after the tune, because it'll take us up to 5 to 10, I think. He's lawyer. You know, it's quite concise, and it covers some of the things we've talked about, but we'll have it after the tune. But one thing I will say, I think Glenn's getting the full back and the Blue support, the Rangers support.
Aye, 100%, mate. I think you know, I've been looking on social media all day, Twitter, Facebook, etc. There's no doubt the Rangers family have rallied right behind him, and you know the support he gets from us in the club will drag him a long way, because when you see the love and my admiration and you know the people have got for him, Oxdear, it's mind blowing. I've been blown away with some of the messages I've seen today of support and stuff for the Rangers family, and it's been nothing short of excellent with them all. You know, and we should continue to do that, Tim, because I think we need to show solidarity as a club, as a support, as a team, that we won't stand for this. You know, no matter what UEFA, let's put UEFA on that aside now. As a club, we won't stand, as a support, we won't stand for this. We will back your players 100% when they're wronged. And I think he'll be quite pleased to see, I think, the support. He'll see Oxdear. I know he's had some nasty messages and stuff like that, but the same nasty ones, for every one nasty, he's probably getting 100 cracking messages from Rangers support, mate.
Look at the stick Fox gets online on social media, you know what I mean?
And that's his OnlyFans account.
You know,
he's a shocker, isn't he? He's an absolute shocker.
People every week there's somebody complaining they've been paying good money for this Fox.
You're telling me Fox has been trolled?
Here he goes.
Oh, as I went home on Monday night, as drunk could be, I saw a horse outside the door, where my old horse should be. Well, I called me wife and I said to her, will you kindly tell to me, who owns that horse outside the door, where my old horse should be? Ah, you're drunk, you silly old fool, still you cannot see, that's a lovely sow that me mother sent to me.
The boy girl so young to Glasgow City to come, seeking fortune and when you way of life. How could they all know their ambitions would grow? Such a beautiful story, when here's how it goes. 4 lads had a dream to start a football team. They had no money, no cash, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers were born. 54 titles, we're still going strong. So hoist up your Rangers flags, sing with your hearts and voice. We celebrate the greatest club in the world. Let our history show what we already know. We are the Rangers, the greatest of all. To start a football team, they had no money, no cash, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers were born. 54 titles, we're still going strong. To start a football team, they had no money, no cash, not even a ball. But they still carried on. The Rangers were born. 54 titles, we're still going strong. they still carried on. The Rangers were born. 54 titles, we're still young and strong. 54 titles, we're still young and strong. 54 titles, we're still young and strong.
Enjoyed that. He's back, boys.
We usually
Yep,
a wee jingle,
54
after
title.
the tune.
We do, and I'm waiting it.
We might
Are we
not.
getting it?
I don't know.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
I've just looked through the technical, boys. I don't know if Fox can get any more of that cake in his mouth at one time.
What's that, red stuff? That a jam all over his face?
That's there.
These are a pair of shockers, by the way. Poor old Fox. Absolutely shocking, the two of you.
Bridge, man, keeps eating lap when you get a carer in.
I'm laughing. I'm sitting here laughing at him, actually. I must admit.
That's not a slicey too. That's a half.
Oh my God.
Right, okay. So let's hear for you guys your thoughts. Where we're going. We're also building up to the game on Sunday, Port. So, guys, your thoughts, what you're thinking, what the team would be, etc.
Looking forward to the game, mate. I think, again, this game will go a long way. Rangers beat them on Sunday. This will go a long way to solidifying my season and my dominance over in this league and over Celtic, mate. Psychologically, this could be a big, big blow for them, mate. To yet again not get another trophy. Rangers go on and increase their dominance in Scottish football, and then obviously, you know, the dominance over them. I just think, for me, that puts a total nail in their coffin. That's the end of the season for them, effectively. They've lost more than half of their team during the summer, and there's a full rebuild on for whoever may come in or whoever may be still there to be involved with their team. So, massive job, mate. This could be, I'm going to say it now, this could be 3 or 4 years of Rangers dominance in the league, mate. I really believe that. I really strongly believe that, because I don't see that as a quick fix over there, mate. I really don't. I don't see it as a quick fix. Mm-hmm. And we're growing so quick under Gerrard. We've came a long way up in 2.5 years.
I think the thing that, well, first and foremost, the game on Sunday, what would your team be?
My team would be, obviously, Patterson, Goldson, McGregor and goal, sorry, first of all. No, McGregor and goal. Patterson right back, Goldson, Hollander plays for me, Barisic, Kamara, Davis, and I'd probably go with Arfield in there. And my front three would be Kent, Mariellas and Hadji, mate. That's it, starting.
Thanks for the call. Don't be a stranger. He was doing all right up to the end there, Bridge, wasn't he? Yeah, Fox, he's that cake back. He's leaving.
Actually, I have to say this to you. That's the exact same team that I've got written down here. Seriously. That's exactly the team.
Well, last night you had a Rebo in it.
Yeah, I've got a Rebo. Have you not got a Rebo in that? I do apologise. I must have picked it up wrong. I've got a midfield of Kamara, Davis and a Rebo. Oh, you've got Arfield in, haven't you? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, I'll take that back then. It's not the exact same team. One change.
It's just my thoughts on that, Ox. Was see after watching Sunday, I don't think under the current maybe play, Morelos and Roof combine well at the moment, mate. Whereas I think like at the weekend, that was shouting out for somebody like Hadji who finds them bits of space, mate.
How well did he do in the last 30 minutes he was on? He was stinking.
I know, mate. I know what you're saying. I do know what you're saying. But I just think in that formation, he offers more than Roof does. I just think he offers more than Roof does, and he's got that As I say that, I was on here.
Don't be a stranger, and we'll speak to you soon. Cheers, mate.
Are you sure you played football?
I'm sticking by my man. I'm sticking by him.
That's the problem. You're putting your neck out and you're frightened you're going to get it cut off. Yeah. And that right hand side,
yeah.
At this moment in time, we could have Roof, Aribo, Wright, and Hadji might be fourth in that pecking order, mate.
You think?
Potentially, mate.
Yep.
So just because you like him doesn't mean he's going to get a game.
No, I understand that. But I just think Aribo.
I'll tell you what I would do with Hadji. I think he will play at some part on Sunday, but I think he's shown us that when he starts, mate, sometimes the big games can pass him by. And I think we also forget, and even though I'm taking the P, we really do forget how young he is.
Well, that's what I was about to say. I think we take a lot, not particularly me, but there are some people, some fans who are very happy with him, but there's other fans out there that think, he could offer more. And I'm on that. I think in a game he could offer a bit more. I know he's full of running sometimes in Endeavour.
Must have missed that. He's one of my all-time favourites, man, isn't he? Bridge? No, he's not talking.
No, I think Hadji will play Saturday. I think he will. And I wish him luck, because I think he's a smashing wee player when he's on form, of course. But we've said it before, and we've seen all the way through. There was a time when he was so easily bumped off the ball. It looks as if he's bulked a wee bit, and maybe that's going to help him. But he needs to do it. He can't run away from it. It's got to be done. And you're going to play biggest enemy we've got, innit? Biggest enemy we've got. So he's got to come through it. We've got to win.
I think he could come in for spot, but I think he'll be coming for the bench, mate.
Aye. You're probably right, Oxy, to be honest. They'll probably put, I know you prefer Aribo in that mere forward position. You don't like him in the midfield, don't you know? Whereas that's where I see him as a long term.
It depends on position, mate. It depends on position. I think if you're playing Hamilton at Ibrox, I don't know if we need to worry about. I'm worrying about people getting behind us, but I think when we've got, if you like, a more competitive game, in theory, even though they're the last team to beat us at Ibrox. So that was maybe not a good example, but you get my point.
Yeah, I do.
I think when we play teams that maybe we were going to have a vast majority of the play, I think it makes sense. You could play a Rebo in midfield then, but other games, Europe, etc., I think he doesn't show up too well. Anyway, even though he scored a cracking goal at the weekend. Anyway, we've been joined by my mate, Big George for UK. How we doing, George?
All right. Any boards on that show in the taste
She's passed him a phone, Oxtear.
Charming the bit, baby. Charming the bit. About one. A shot in the swing, you know what I mean? I'll give free cake.
What a shocker, George. What a shocker.
I'll get a cake for you, Bridgeman. Right?
Oh, thank you, pal.
It's a strawberry cheesecake one, right?
Strawberry, good.
And then for Port Vale, I've got a chocolate souffle one for you, mate. But
lovely.
Do not touch the bitter almonds, man. They're for Oxchair.
Round of applause for that, man.
Don't put your hands anywhere near that cake. Just let him bump it in.
Thank you, George.
I heard that. I was letting that go.
I thought you might phone in tonight, mate.
Oh my God, that was a kick below the fucking belt.
Watch what you're saying, you.
I was screaming the words, man. I was dear Lord.
Did you laugh? George?
I was laughing, know what I mean? I was like, he done that the other night, by the
way. He's a devil.
Aye.
A bit of a devil.
By the way, I've been decorating my house up right, and it's been an absolute disaster.
Oh,
dear.
I just get my
Oh,
new
dear.
PIN number through, right? I just get my new PIN number through my bank card. I say to my daughter, whatever you do, please do not touch your paperwork next to the chair. No bother. I go to the day, get in and go to the bank, and it's away in the bin. So I'll get no PIN number. Oh, terrific, yeah.
George,
What the-
George.
You're a disaster, George.
I'll be going to the homeless centre this week looking for a couple of fannies.
Oh my God. My God.
I hope you said Sarries.
It's shocking. Shocking.
Couple of trees and some
George
apples.
E.K., that's shocking.
I don't, EK, mate, I swear to God, this is what Zombieland up here. It's like the apocalypse now.
Apocalypse now.
Guys talked to Powell to me last week. I was up there by a shopping centre. I seen all the big commotion. I was like, what's going on here? But anyway, I would check that out. I was like, guys trying to talk to a fella, having a full conversation with a fella. He's like, you don't hear a man that? And I'm like, man, oh, he's out front. That's the zombie apocalypse.
Wouldn't they have a competition for people to go about with you for a week, George?
Yeah, we were throwing sweets out, man. Yeah, right, me and my daughter and that, right? Going out, right, and big boy for Chelsea, man. I was like, what team do you support? I thought you got to say Sport Rangers. He went, always support this guy's a big guy, mate. This guy's about 6'4" on. He's huge. Honestly, mate. He's like, see what team you support? He's like, always support Chelsea. That's it, mate. Every time I go for a job up here, they go at me. What team do you support? They go, Chelsea. Go, wrong answer. Next. I was like, I feel sorry for you, mate. No, I mean, the guy was brand new, actually, man. I mean, but at the end of the day, hope there's no nails for the end of this weekend because we're going to have him.
What's your team, George, for Sunday?
McGregor. Right. Patterson. Golson. Hollander for me. Barisic. Oh, I do Davis, that?
Yes.
Yep.
Davis. Kamara. Aribo. And up front I go. I don't know about that. I give it a minute, man. Oh my God, man. In fact, I will. I'll chance it. I'll go with Haji Kent Morelos.
Oh, very offensive. Very offensive. Right, I've got this statement, George, for Glenn Kamara's lawyer, mate. If you just bear with me for a couple of minutes, is that all right?
I heard it, man. I was pure shocked. Well, I heard it, but what it was. I wasn't expecting anything else, mate, to be honest.
No, that actually shocked me. They went further than I thought they would, if I'm being honest.
Aye. Because it's been all social media, you know what I mean? So that's acting some way, man. Some kind of trifle, can I say, trifle way, man, with the acting matters not talking about stuff. You know what I mean? But you remember, Walter Smith went through, what you call Matt Wallace went through. All Matt Wallace did was play even better, man. They won the long, eating the bananas instead of chucking them.
Walters, here, brave man, the way he handled it. Right, okay, this is for Anwar, who's the lawyer for Glenn Kamara. So he actually it's welcome news today that UEFA have found Audrey Condella guilty of racist abuse of Rangers player Glenn Kamara. However, Glenn has left disappointed that the sanction imposed by UEFA on Condella is a bare minimum of 10 games that could be imposed. On Monday, we provided UEFA with a substantial dossier of evidence on Condella's racism, seeking robust sanctions, but we have also made submissions that the proposed 5-match ban for Glenn should be reduced. Well, Glenn's proposed 5-match ban, so they must have known about it early bridge. 5-match ban is now down to 3. To the 3, we will wait the publication of UEFA's full decision before deciding whether to appeal against this action. As for the sanctions imposed to Condella, UEFA have imposed a minimum year-long ban rather than a tokenistic 10-match ban. That doesn't make sense, but there you go. Under the UEFA disciplinary regulations, Condella could have been banned for at least 10 matches or a specific period of time. We firmly believe that UEFA should have made use of the significant discretion available to them to send a far stronger message that this type of abhorrent conduct will not be tolerated on the football field. And this is the point that Jim made. There is no other workplace within which such racist behaviour would be tolerated. Sadly, UEFA once again has made a mockery of their claims they want to kick racism out of football. Andre Kundela acted in a grotesque and racist manner, but his behaviour was compounded by his club Slavia Prague, who implied that my client Glenn was a liar. Kundela's racist behaviour had consequences and incited the fans of Slavia Prague, who went on to subject Glenn Kamara to horrendous racism on a daily basis. There is no excuse or justification for racism on or off the playing field, and it really is time for the footballing community to take action against clubs, fans and social media that perpetuate racism. As far as Glenn, he feels vindicated today, and he wants to thank Steven Gerrard, Rangers FC and its fans for their tremendous support, but also to thank the fans of clubs who put aside football rivalry to support him and stand united against racism. Now Glenn just wants to get back to doing what he loves doing, playing football. End of statement.
Pathetic. Did you see Kamara get banned or not?
Aye, he get banned, aye.
What, he get banned and he's a recipient, or the victim, should I say? What they're trying to say is he had a couple of digs at him out the tunnel.
Aye, potentially, mate, aye.
I thought the police said nothing happened up the tunnel.
We don't know, mate. The devil's in the detail, mate. The devil's
Pure rat catcher, man, probably room. I seen it. That's a stick on that. I seen it. I punched him right in the eye, right badging. I seen it and I punched him in the other ear. Terrible assault. But honestly, but see the end of the day, did we expect any different?
George, I'm actually surprised they went as far as they have.
Aye, be honest with you, I'm up. I mean,
I just thought, I thought they'd have been a bit stronger. Actually, I did say at the beginning of the programme, I just thought they could have used this opportunity to really make a statement. And I sort of feel the same way, I mentioned earlier on, that we've heard Mr. Anwar's statement. That's more or less along the lines how I felt. I thought, you missed the boat and it was sort of mediocre, wasn't it? Talking gesturous, sort of, 10 game, I'm glad if Glenn's going to push on and play football. That was the end of the statement. He started the club, fans, etc. That's his thing for me. That's obviously came from Glenn himself, so he's obviously wanting to get on with it. And, fair play to him.
Here.
I'm sad.
Here. So, hopefully Glenn can move on. George, big game for us on Sunday.
It surely is, mate. It surely is. Biggest game of the season.
Aye, Bridgeman.
It is. To win the cup, to get past the game.
Biggest game of the season by a long, long way now. A long, long way.
Well said, mate. Well said. Honestly, we shouldn't have any need to spur us on, by the way. That trophy should be enough. And plus, for the main fact is they're playing against them. I'm talking about.
Aye, there's a lot of natural motivation there. Put there.
100%, mate. As I said earlier on, I think if you look at the game in itself, this goes to putting them, again, keep them below us, mate. Keep the feet in the throat of Celtic. You know what I mean? Just keep the feet in the throat of them. Don't let them see how far we've came, and we'll go on and grow next year. We'll continue to we'll add better players to this squad for next year, etc. Guys might go, guys might come, etc. But I just think in a single game of football, there's nothing bigger, mate, than Old Firm. Nothing bigger at all, in my opinion.
Yeah, mate.
I'm always buzzing for this whole week. I can't wait until Sunday. I really can't wait.
That's after dinner, isn't
it? There's a very, very important thing happening Saturday as well. With the Prince's funeral. So that takes place first. And sentiments go to his family as well. But certainly the weekend, mate. I am absolutely buzzing for the weekend. I think the game speaks for itself.
That's exactly what I think.
What's your thoughts on the boy Patterson, Josh? Because we've not heard you, obviously, with your new romance and that,
What?
so we've not heard you.
We knew that. Oh, you're good for the fly ones, aren't you? You fly uppercut here. Rock my head back. Patterson. I think Patterson's an outstanding right back, man, honestly. And see when you said, was it last week? Was it this week? Last week. You went, he's faster. He's better. This, not the rest, man. I went like that. Between James Tavernier. I don't want any hot Fox, man, know what I mean? But honestly, I think he's an outstanding player. I think that boy's going to get better and better. I really do.
I genuinely believe that. I think that's fact. I think he is quicker than Tav.
Aye, he is. There's no doubt
He can
about it.
definitely throw the ball further than Tav.
Exactly.
Aye.
All the things you said, I was like, true.
As much
Yes,
as
I think there's in certain parts he's got a better all round parts. Obviously, Tab's the captain and he's got the experience in the world.
Body plus his bridge. I still don't know if he's a better player yet than Tav.
I don't think so. I think he's got a couple of years ago yet. But the chance he's got now, the world's at his feet now. He's just got to get in there and try and take it and force the manager to play him. That's all he can do. He can't do anything else, can he? I think he's a brilliant player.
He's in a very good place.
I think in a few years' time, he will be exceptional. I mean it, man. They'll be wanting big money. We're talking silly money for him.
We'll be joined by a caller. Evening caller.
Gentlemen, how are you?
Joined by a caller.
You want to speak to anybody in particular?
I think there's Fort Barrett's on the night, is it? What? See that cake you've bought?
Yeah.
Is that space cake by any chance? Hadji's going to start. Are you feeling all right?
You get us a couple of penalties, by the way.
Brilliant.
Aye, well, just hope you're feeling all right later. I'm just a bit dodgy. No, I think that Port's come up with a dodgy cake tonight.
You do pick your nights to like our south side used to come in.
Well, I'm going to go now because I'm going back to enjoy my caramel cake, so I want to enjoy the rest of your night.
I love caramel cake.
Oh, dear.
You having it with custard?
Cold custard, George.
I can't go that. I like the hot custard.
Oh, aye. Cold custard. What if cold custard?
George, does Amanda make her custard for scratch?
I wouldn't know, mate. I wouldn't know. How the hell would I know? I ain't going to faint. She never have said she dyed her hair blonde, man. I mean, look at his cause.
That's got you thinking, isn't it, wee man?
I like any bird, but any bird is good, you know what I mean? I'm up for it.
Just put out there for listeners, Oxtear. Any bird. Any bird.
Aye, good looking.
Oh, what a man.
Dear. Oh,
what a
dear.
man.
Good drink fine.
Oh dear, what a man. Right, cheers, Southside.
Hey,
Aye, thanks very much, mate.
see you later, George.
Enjoy that caramel cake. Eat the custard up.
I will do, mate. Don't you worry.
Rubbing it in.
This is turning into a Great British Bake Off, isn't it?
You're rubbing it in there. I will eat all that. I'm not. Oh, I can murder a bit of that.
I can assure you, if he's going to get his custard heated up, he'll not even touch it. Takes on his plate.
You want the guys that used to like the skin?
Well, Southside.
Remember, you used to get him at school, you know what I mean? Who wants to skin him? Oh, me, that. Oh, what? You joking?
Southside knows he takes sugar in his tea, he just doesn't know how many.
So the spoon's going straight up, not?
No. Anyway, right, I think you said a go at you about Hadji, Portbear.
I think that was a bit of a digger, mate, if I do say so myself, aye.
I know it was. Three penalties.
He had a goal at me as well. Portbear.
Aye.
He doesn't like us.
Need to see the HR department.
Coming on and making statements. Right? We'll speak to Foxy about that.
We took that case to the HR department and they went with Southside, mate.
We need to go above them, mate.
It was a fait accompli for you. Portbear.
Yes.
Oh, superb.
I just think on that right side, mate.
Is that your team or is that Gerard's team you gave us?
Me?
It's mine. It's mine. It's my team, mate.
Do you think Hadji will start? Oh, seriously?
No. I think he will start on the right, mate. To be honest,
right,
if I'm totally honest, he will start on that right position. I think.
Why did you say it then? Why did you say Hadji?
Because I've got an opinion. Sorry, which one?
You're under pressure, mate, and you were right.
No, I've got an opinion on why I would start Hadji, because I think on that right side it's still up for grabs. Under,
people know what I mean. He's in the box.
Under Gerrard, I think.
George, let him speak.
I can't even laughing anyway.
It's being logical.
I just think under Gerrard, that right hand side, our front three, has never been nailed down by any current player at Ibrox. I think that's one of the first things I'll say.
Yeah.
I think over the last few games when we've not started Hadji, I think nobody else has stepped up to the plate next year. And I think I still believe Hadji is the only one at our club that has that moment of magic, whether it be a pass, a goal, getting free kicks, as George is touching on about that box, to also create goals in dangerous positions or goal efforts on goal. I think we look pretty. We lacked imagination next year in the front three on Sunday, and I think Hadji still brings. He's one of the very few players that we've got at our club that has that in-game intelligence and absolute quality as a player to make these passes and have these moments of magic, mate. And I think in the big Old Firm games, he scored over the festive period into January. Hadji scored some important goals for Rangers to help clinch that title. And I think he's one of the only players we've got, mate, in the team that's got that ability of clinching games on his own.
I think he's going to go with Hadji myself, but obviously, no. But Aribo played quite well when he was out in the wide right on Sunday there at moments, and he scored a great goal as well from that type of position. So he was involved heavily up there, and I thought he played quite well. So he could be another one. He could put Arfield into midfield and move Aribo up to the right wing, dead easy, But I think he'll go with Hadji. I really do. I feel strongly. We're waiting, of course, Hadji actually sparking. Once he sparks, it looks like we're going to be a smashing pair for us.
I would bet you George's almond slice. The
almond slice. Was that the one for Amanda?
Yeah, leave it, man. Leave it.
She likes you, by the way.
I know a few Amandas and all that, man. I hope it's no one of the Amandas I know.
Oh dear. I'm in South Side.
For me, know what I mean?
I think the threes are on the. I think he's on the angel cake.
The angel cake.
Angel cake.
That's a shocker.
Right, so Oxford, who would you start with? What's your team? Give us your team.
Pretty much the same, mate. The back four picks because obviously Balogun's not playing, but I would have played Hollander anyway, personally.
Yeah. Yep.
And in the midfield, I think the guys that are automatic starters is Davis and Kamara. Then you look at, right, okay, you've got a choice, Scotty Arfield and Joe Aribo. Yeah, that's your choice because we're light in numbers in there. I don't think there's any chance of Zungu starting, if I'm being honest. So,
Oxchair.
Yes, mate.
Do you know think Scotty Arfield's been a bit half a boil?
Totally agree, mate. I totally agree. I thought he's been poor since maybe he came back for his injury, mate. It's just he looks a wee bit void of confidence to me.
Mate, that's what I think it is, I know.
You know, he just needs something to happen for him to back. So, if we're accepting we're going to play a 4-3-3, I would play Scotty in there. I would prefer to see a fit Ryan Jack in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%. Yep.
You can only pick what you've got, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then we've got a problem. Who do we play? So I think Kent Morelos picked herself.
Aye.
And then you've got an issue. Do you play Joe Aribo? Do you play Kemar Roof? Do you play Scott Wright? Or do you play Hadji in that position? Now, remember that you have young Patterson there. And inexperience. That'll be another factor for non-playing Hadji. It could give you right in the team because he's work rate and his pace to bother them. But I think, as I said last night, the guy I think he would play there would be Joe Aribo in the front three. And I think another reason for playing Aribo is he gives you that bit of height in both boxes. Yeah.
Yep.
It helps you. You know, to be fair, Hadji's 6 foot, but he jumps 5'5", doesn't he?
That's true.
Yeah. That's very good, actually. Very good.
Do any of you think that we, like I said earlier on, we do have a problem with that position?
No way certain games where you can play Roof there, and no way certain games with a boy Wright who's come onto the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
We don't know how good this boy's going to be. So far, so good, and Stevie G seems to be holding him back, and maybe he's just happy to give him cameos and then get the full pre-season and then see if he can explode onto the scene for us. I think you need different personnel for different matches. Yeah.
Horses for courses. Yep. Get that. Yep. I just think it's the one position Oxchair that's not been nailed down by anyone. No one has took that and went and grabbed that position by scruffy neck and said, "This is mine now. You try and get me out it."
I agree.
I've seen Wright play. He seems to be predominantly left. So I just seen him as backup to Kent. But when I've seen him, I've been very impressed with what I've saw. So if he's a man that's going to go and grab that position, mate, fair play to him. But I think, if you touched on, our team is going to be, while we're playing Europe and playing the League Cup games, whatever it may be, domestically, I think horses for courses and there'll be certain games for certain people. I just think, like I says, mate, over the last few weeks we've been so lacking in imagination. We've not got the drive and determination for Arfield or something missing in his game as well. Even he chipped in with plenty of assists as well. He's not even providing that. But like you said, mate, a tackle, an assist, a goal for Arfield. We know he knows what that game means at the weekend. So he could be a shoe in for that central midfield three, and Aribo could move one forward, which absolutely makes sense. If I'm totally honest. I get why you do that, because then Arfield would cover Patterson, etc., with his experience when Patterson's bombing forward. So that's the only reason I would see that would help. Patterson over there and have Arfield in there because of experience and engagement. Yeah.
If I'm being honest, and I'll come to George with this, when Arfield's played for us against him and he's played in that space round about Brown, he's been really effective most of the time. George?
I 100% agree with that, man. When he's played against them, he seems to boss Ingby again with Baldwin up talking about. I mean, he's to me in the All Family he's a completely different player. he does seem to up his game for that. Well, let's be honest about the big game that we're talking about. I mean, in Scotland, we're basically in the world, if you want. But I mean, I see where you're coming from, Ox, here, and I'm talking about it. I mean, he does complimenting me very well.
If you're picking the team on form, Arfield's not getting in it.
No.
I know what you mean, but he seems to raise his game, doesn't he, for the all-firm games?
I'm being honest. I'm not being cruel to Scotty when I say that. I don't know what you think, but
I think he's been. If you remember back to, let's think about some of the old firm goals he's been involved in. The one he plays lets the ball run through his legs. So Defoe lets it run through his legs and he gets a goal. He'd create a partnership for a wee while with Defoe, if you remember right. And it does seem to get on to Scott Brown. And stop him, his involvement in the game. I'm not even sure if he'll start anyway next year. Brown, I'm really not sure he'll start. Don't care anyway. I like him in the team. So I think if we, again, you always say this, if we play our standards we've set this season, which we've not done the last couple of weeks, I will say it here, we'll win. We will. We'll beat them. Because I still believe, player for player, I wouldn't have any of them out of that club in your team, mate. I don't think there's anybody that walks out of their team and would walk straight into your team. I really don't. And that's every position, every single position. I think your guys are far better. They're a good team unit. It's not a team individuals and stuff, so it's a great team.
Even after the bravest man in the world telling you that he's got the greatest team in the world at the moment.
Well, he's obviously got the same cake I've got in.
You're going to laugh at it. It's a real fun in games league at the moment, isn't it? Unbelievable. You go like, wait a minute, who's that way up there 20 points ahead of us? We're a better team than them. It must be on your cake right enough.
Aye.
He's in a magic mushroom omelette.
Sure. Well, aye. I'd be interested. I mean, I think most of the team does pick itself. Obviously, Ryan Jack and the Tav would be playing. I think I would put Hollander in. Bridgeman, you're a centre half expert.
I play Hollander, absolutely, I will, yeah, for sure. Both Goldson and Hollander. And they always seem to play not too bad. Look, it's a big game. We're playing Celtic, and if they get a wee touch in front of us in any way, shape, or I don't mean scoring, but then they'll take whatever advantage they can get. We know what they're like. They're quite good attacking. We've seen that the last couple of games they played us. But we've got to come out and do what we've got to do. It's a Scottish Cup. Come on, Rangers, waking up. Let's go out there and do them. We've got the team. We've got the players that can do it. Let's do it. Be done with it. I'm not keen on. I'm like Port Bear. I wouldn't have any of the players on our team. Not one of them. Don't rate them at all. Even the young boy Turnbull, who they're all raving about, I just don't see it, man. Don't see it.
Yeah, he's got quality, mate, but they tend to overreact. What's the one that signed for AC Milan on loan? He was going to be the best thing ever, wasn't he?
Is it not?
I never told you heard to. That's some haircut he's got.
And Big Shane was here for Terry Monroe, wasn't he?
Terry Monroe, that's all brilliant. That's class, by the way. I have to say, that's absolute class.
I'll tell you, actually, they've got a real dilemma on their hands for the weekend because, this diamond formation they were playing, I think we'll tear it with bits of the time play it against us. I've got a funny feeling, mate, they're going to try and set up like a 4-2-3-1 against us. I've got a wee feeling, a wee ankle feeling that they'll try and either hit us in the counter. I don't think they'll be strong enough to play us with that diamond. I think we'll run over the top of them, mate, I really do.
We've not done it in the last two games, Port.
I know, mate, it shows you the calibre of the team, mate, and the will to win your team. We've not played the greatest in them two fixtures, but we've still got results, mate. We've still managed to get a result. I mean, I think we'll continue that. I think we're in their heads, mate. I really do. I think that's got to affect you when you turn up to the home ground. You play them off apart effectively. but you still walk out the door with nothing. You know, I just think that'll be in their heads, mate. I really do. And I think we've got a start on that because they're not expecting. You know, we've not been playing anywhere near our form probably for the last 4 weeks, anywhere near what we're capable of. But we've still managed to get a result at every occasion, including the weekend, mate, where I thought Hibs should probably draw in that game, and that would have been a fair result. You know, if we're totally honest. But we still get the W last year. And there's something in our team and in the DNA of our club that seems to happen on a regular basis. We don't need to be at our best to beat teams.
I wonder if they're going to close the Erskine Bridge just in case on Sunday.
It would make sense, mate.
I think so. It really will. I 100% agree with poor Beth said. I've said it all along. You know, if we beat them on Sunday, that's them done. They're done now, but that's them toasted for sure. They're a dead club. A dead club. Who's going to buy their season tickets?
They're on the floor, Bridgeman. They're on the floor.
They're way down.
Where they belong.
Yep.
Well, obviously, I'm hoping that we do really well against them. I really do. I want to beat them, and if we can, that'll just be cherry on the cake for us, and the opposite for them. And they thoroughly deserve it. Huh?
What's it, cherry?
Cherry on the cake?
I can't see it.
No, sorry. We're talking about that cake. That's poor Beer's cake. He doesn't have cherries. No, it's just that's the way I feel. And I think the closer we get to it, the higher I'm going to get. So I'm going to ask my wife's an ex-nurse, so maybe she's got some drugs that she can bring me back. You know, but, seriously, I'm so looking forward to it. I'm desperate, just desperate.
I think that's the point the South Side was making. We used to should be drug tested for having Hadji's.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I don't mind putting my hands up. I'll say it, and that's what I think that our manager's going to do. But he's not done that yet. For me, he's not for me. But as far as I'm concerned, I can't second guess a boy. He's absolute class. Absolute class.
There's only one thing I will say, and you both your defence. Southside's not get the team right all season, does he?
Come mate, continue.
Come on, George, don't be miserable to you. That's terrible being miserable like that.
It's one of the games, George. It's one of the games, isn't it? It doesn't really matter as long as you get the result. It's all about the result.
That's exactly that, mate, man. We go out there. We play as Rangers players can. The way that season we played. We shouldn't have any hassle whatsoever. I'm absolutely pumping this mob at the weekend. Really, if we play, man, the way we can play, because we're due. The way we've been playing recently, by the way, we're due to do a team. And I hope to God it's them. I really do hope it's them.
I'm sure I
If we beat them, we'll send them a card saying, "What are you doing? What are you doing in cup final day?" This is just brilliant, man. This is how stupid it is, and I'm feeling so happy with it. So happy with it.
I'm the same. I've got the boy.
When you go, Port?
I think everything's got to be lifted next year. See, I'm sure I heard Albert on during the week, and he was sort of mentioning about, he thinks we're playing back to when he was on Danny's Isa a good few months back when we were playing all these stupid inside passes and stuff and running down, blind alleys, etc. and tempos away back down again. That seems to have creeped back into the team again, and I agree with that. And just what George touched on, we're due a performance next year. We're due a performance, and I think in Gerrard's reign as well, we're due give something back to the fans. A good cup performance and a cup run, maybe go and finish it off, if that makes sense. Yeah. So I think that'll be in Gerrard's seed as well, mate. He'll be busting to do this double. He'll be busting to do it and give the fans a cup as well, and that would go a long way in cementing your season domestically, certainly. Anyway, we've already done it in Europe last 16. I was happy with that last year. Did I like the way we went out? No, I didn't like the way we went out, but I think domestic double that'd go a long way to settle my season, and that'd be absolutely amazing for me. And then obviously a good result on Sunday. I'm going to say it's still going to be tight, but I think we'll win 2-0. That's my opinion.
Well, Look, I'll just take a victory, mate. I'm no greedy. I just take a victory and I'll move on. And I don't care. I'll go back to the All Bear. It's all about winning the game on Sunday for me. Hopefully it'll be day in 90 minutes, but you never know. It could go to the wire.
I suppose, mate, it's just as big for them. I mean, this is their season next year. So I'd be very surprised if they're not for it, put it that way. You know, I think this, you're probably right, this could go right to the wire. You know, penalties, whatever. You know, this could go to, especially, this could be a cracker at the weekend, mate. It's set up well, and then obviously, when Rangers got to Victor, they'll certainly be favourites for the Cup, mate. And as I said, a domestic double, I'm sure every Rangers fan will love it.
Mate. We've got to go on date.
100%.
No one in the Cup, yeah?
Yep, 100%, that's what I mean, yep.
You know. George?
Can't agree more, honestly. Don't beat them by, man, 100%. I can just, they must know we beat them by, the chances of winning the Cup are like odds on, basically, man, know what I mean? If we don't make any slip-ups, not talking about, but I really just want to give them a hammer, really, to man, honestly. Show them who is the top team in Scotland and how far do they are compared to us.
Good.
Standard. 100% agree, 100%. We'd love to go out and beat them by a lot, let's put it that way. But, back to my old 1-0 will do me, as long as we win. Be great. It'd be really, really fabulous for our club. We've done so much this season. If we could go that extra wee couple of hurdles, and the first one is Sunday, and if we can go over that wee hurdle, listen to me, but you know what I mean, guys, if we can go over that hurdle, what a night that's going to be. What a night. Oh, what a night. just wonderful. Seriously, it'll be just wonderful. I'm so happy.
Really is.
Why, Mr. Gerrard, make it happen.
Yeah, it's one of the games. It just doesn't matter. It's all about the result. It is.
Aye, 100%, mate. This is why I'm saying, even over the last few weeks, when we've sort of stumbled over games, we still seem to have that. We still seem to get the win next year. You know, or certainly remain undefeated. And this is one of the other big things for me this season. Yes, we finished the league. We won the league, undefeated. But I want two things: Scottish Cup, and I want to remain undefeated to the end of the season, mate. I want that. That for me, that's as good as a treble for me. I'll take that as my treble. Undefeated, Scottish Cup, and league champions. That'll do me for the season,
European
mate.
Run. You throw in a European run.
Exactly. It's a phenomenal season next year. And I think if you asked any Rangers fan at the beginning of the season, would you take that? I'm sure they'd have bit their hands off. I truly believe that.
Well said, mate. Well said.
George, it's been a great season, isn't it? It's been better than any of us could have predicted.
Aye, it is, man. By the way, Port Vale said absolutely brilliant there. That was absolutely fantastic, what you said. I mean, that's exactly how I feel. Exactly, man. What a season this has been. It's a season to remember, know what I mean? Stop 10, man. The kid on 10. We absolutely annihilated it, know what I mean? Annihilated them. And like Europe, the run in Europe was absolutely brilliant and all. Just we've come up against Singly, a kind of different opposition, man. Scumbag opposition, actually, let's be honest with it. I mean, he managed to put us out. But at the end of the day, we got to the last 16. He never goes far. They were bottom of their group, I'm talking about. And to win the Cup, honestly, would be like a treble. It really would, after winning the league championship, and I'm talking about, honestly, it would be so early in Hingme. It's early in Hingme, a year, and I'm talking about. And but honestly, to win the Cup, that's the ice in the cake, it really is.
Aye. I think we've had an absolutely brilliant season so far, Bridge. We've got the cake, using the cake analogy. We've got the icing on it, and we're just wanting some hundreds of thousands sprinkled on it.
Is that the one with the cherry on it? No?
Aye, with the spiced up, aye.
Oh, aye. You're right, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's been a fabulous season. The Bridge man here, I'm not being funny, I never dreamt we could do this season. I'm so happy. So happy. I dreamt that we could do it, but my God, I never dreamt we would do it. And here we are, in the cusp of getting ourselves through further in the Scottish Cup, and it's against our bitterest enemies. I mean, not only that, but we're actually putting them out seriously, we're actually going to put them out the cup. Fabulous. And that gives us a great opportunity to go forward and win the silverware, which we didn't do in the League Cup, of course. But we've got a great chance of doing it. I think that'll go hand in hand with the league. I'm so happy. I am so happy. I'm busting for this game. Busting for it.
I think it goes a long way, Oxtear, as well. See, in regards to what Bridgeman's talking about regarding, the league, last 16. And I'm going to say the manner in which we won the league. We didn't just go and trundle over the line, Oxtear. We put this to bed on the 2nd of January. So it's been hard to keep the team motivated, and the Scottish Cups became a good, I'm going to use the word distraction. When we thought our team was going to peter out to nothing, the Scottish Cups came, and it should have given us that lift. I thought we should have went and get back to our top form again. But we've been a bit slow, mate. And I'm not going to take anybody for the side for that. They've delivered the league in a manner which I didn't think was possible. I didn't think we were so far apart for Celtic on form and the way how our teams progressed, how their teams just absolutely imploded. I didn't think there was such a big gap, mate. And it's proven Gerrard's put his stamp on this team again, and we're going forward, mate.
You said that about them. By the way, that Dave King, George, he had some vision. He got it right with them, didn't he?
He totally did. The pack of cards would fall, man. He got it bang on right, didn't he, man? He knew exactly what a businessman then, huh?
Aye.
He's worked him out. Money,
he's worked him out. Bridgeman. I believe Dave King's the second.
No, you're absolutely right. Dave King should be just like you said.
I think he's the second wealthiest man ever to come out of Castlemilkenny.
Who you putting in as first? Because Skipper's right in there, by the way. Skipper's right in there.
I think when you look at the Castlemilk Rich Stakes, Skipper sits about number 7, mate.
You reckon?
Aye.
Okay, so we'll get. It must be Foxy at number 1.
Number 1's the Fox. Skipper's trouble is that a lot of his stuff he's got, he doesn't actually own it.
It should be Willie Hoy. It's like Parkhead's pitch. It's owned by somebody. Brilliant. One boy. No, seriously, this is forget it's Wednesday night. Come on, it's Wednesday night. We've only got 4 sleeps to go, 3 sleeps to go and a couple of naps or something like that. It's building up with me anyway, that's for sure. I'm just in heaven at the moment. And of course, the saddest thing for me is the fans kind of get there. The fans kind of get to watch it. What a sight that would be. What a sight. Just wonderful.
Aye. Obviously, the club missed out in revenue. That would have been a full house, a massive guy, TV revenue and everything that went with it. Big game. So missed out there. Port just the luck of the draw, I suppose.
Aye, unfortunate, Ox. There's been a few big nights Rangers fans have been robbed though, due to the obviously current climate. It'd have been marvellous to be in Ibrox this year, mate, and watch this team as they've developed and the champions basically, effectively. So I get what you mean, mate, but they've been robbed of a good few, a club for money, a lot of money the club have lost due to it as well, but certainly fans have been robbed of some great days and some great nights at Ibrox and all tournaments concerned, mate.
Yeah. Well, Bridgeman, we've reached that time in the evening, but I think it's important that we get in with our name and our shout out again. But just for anybody that's listening, my name's Oxtear, Rangers Radio, and I stand by Glenn Kamara.
I'm Port Bear, and we stand by Glenn Kamara.
I'm Bridgeman from Rangers Radio, and I totally stand behind Mr. Kamara. Totally. I'm with him.
George?
I'm George VK. and I'm United with Kamara all the way.
Cheers, mate. Bridgeman, Port Bear. Quick night.
Aye, quick and funny night, mate. Yep, enjoyed that.
The cake was wonderful, by the way. Thank you very much, Port Bear.
You keep sleeping night.
Any cake.
I've seen you a bit down, Ox.
Josh,
a bit hard by the time it gets to you.
You're phoning in, we're in the studio.
What can I say? What can we say? So,
you see up? Right, thanks for phoning in.
Cheers, Georgie boy.
No bother, mate. No bother.
Take care, mate. All right.
All the best, Port, that. Bridgeman.
Cheers, pal.
What about you, Bridge?
Right, what can I say? Oxtail, just a standout night. Well done to Port Bear, my old colleague here, and obviously the boys in the background doing their business. So can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here, on Rangers Radio, every single one is massive, massive game coming up on us. Biggest game of our season, and that's for sure. Everybody keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers really need us, and we want to support Steven Gerrard all the way, and he's going to back Glenn Kamara. Everybody keep it going for them. Everybody keep it going.
Can I thank all the callers tonight who were George, Amanda, Jim and Dave. Jim for Ken, I think, and then obviously Dave for Cumbernauld, and of course my mate Southside who jumped in just to take the pew. Mother mate Port Bear. Thanks to Port and Bridge for hosting the show. Thanks to Fox and Old School Boy for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10. We'll be joined by the one and only Linda, who I think's been baking all day today, Port Bear.
Big cake coming.
Thanks for listening. Stay safe. Take it away, Old School Boy.
Sure, I was dreaming of old Ibrox, of her slopes and great grandstands, and I dreamed about the Rangers, the best team in the land. When my memory suggested of a vision bright and clear, of the strange things that would happen if we had the Rangers here. Now if the road to Ibrox Park way up the Shankill, and Brian Laudrup came from Sandy Road, and Alistair Price came from East Belfast, and old Belfast became then old Glasgow. If the Rangers met the Celtic up at Windsor, sure no green flags at that game they would appear. Ulster's sons would never roll, and all the boys would stay at home if we only had the Rangers over here. I dreamed about her Ulster men who wore the shirt of blue, Bertie Manderton, Sam English, Norrie Hamilton, McCandless too. I have dreamed of Whitey McDonald, who came from Lisburn town, and the greatest, Billy Simpson, who never let them down. Now if the road to Ibrox Park way up the Shankill, and Brian Laudrup came from Sandy Road, and Ali McCoist came from East Belfast, and then old Belfast became old Glasgow. If the Rangers met the Celtic up at Windsor, then no green flags at that game they would appear. our sons would never roam. All the boys would stay at home. If we only had the Rangers over here. If we only had Glasgow Rangers over here.